Hey, what's going on, guys? It's LuceyGoosey or Kyle, and welcome to the UPL playoffs here on the channel. We are here with the playoffs. If you guys didn't know, the way playoffs is working is we have a team of three. We've had this team the whole season. If you guys have been in and out, you should have known this. We're on Team Eclipse. That's why we have the Necrozma in the bottom corner over there. So yeah, it's really cool. Basically, we have Coach Jake, who went 11-2. Actually, wait, how many weeks did we have? We had 15 weeks, so 13-2 on the season. Really good. He's going to be up in the first battle here. We have myself, who went 11-4, and we have Mandy the Turtle, who I believe went 5-10, or no, 6-9. Either one of those two, maybe 6-9. But yeah. Yeah, we're here with the playoffs. We actually finished with the #1 seed, so we are taking on the #4 seed. Which is Team Chaos, and I actually didn't face Pearl yet in the season. Pearl was a replacement coach halfway through the season, so I actually haven't faced his team, but he was their #1. So basically, Jake is going to go up against Pearl, #1 versus #1, #2 versus #2. I'm going up against Calixto, which Calixto only finished 6-9, and then Mandy is going to go up against Mike, which Mike also finished 6-9. So yeah, we've got our battles here. Jake and Pearl went first. We were really hoping Jake could pull through the victory. I did a few mocks with him for this match, and Showdown's a little buggy right now, so hopefully we don't run into any issues. But we're gonna go through every single game that happened in the playoffs. Basically, if Pearl lost this game, or if Jake lost this game, no matter what, your other teammates could still come back. So if let's say Chaos won 2 out of the 3 games against us, and like Jake was the only one who won, then Jake would still have a chance to come back, and he would face the other 2. So it kind of takes away more of the team aspect, makes it more individual, but we wanted to do this way so that we didn't have like meaningless playoff battles, because if it was best 2 out of 3 and we won both or the first 2 games, then what's the point of playing a third? So either way, there were like, you know, bad scenarios of what could happen. But we are here, and this is the format we went with. So I'll click the play right here. I don't remember the matches too much because we have moved on from this series at the time of me recording this, so I don't remember the plays too much, so I'll kind of let it play, give my thoughts and everything. I can't remember Jake's team as well as I should. I do remember basic sets that Jake likes to bring, so I'm assuming he is Shell Smash on his Cloyster, Quiver Dance on his Volcarona, Spore with Mach Punch possibly on his Breloom with like Swords Dance, and then Metagross. I'm not sure what type of Metagross he likes to bring. Usually it's bulky. Sometimes he brings Rock Polish SD on the Lando, but sometimes also Scarfed. I could see Scarfed in this matchup for him. And yeah, Pearl just has a really fat team with the Wallerine coming. It's kind of scary, but anyways, we'll click the play button here. We got the Ferrothorn going up against the Metagross. They get the rocks up, but luckily he gets his Volcarona in to get up this Quiver. But we're going to see how little this Giga Drain actually does. I'm not sure if this was Assault Vest, but you can see also Sash, Volcarona coming in here. Rock Slide on the Wallerine. Really good prep by Pearl. And I don't know if this was Assault Vest, but it took that Giga Drain really well. So Jake here is just going to sack off his Volcarona, go for the Giga Drain, and Pearl is going to hit that Waterfall, kill this Volcarona, getting rid of a threat right off the bat. So by going into Breloom here, we could see that Jake maybe goes for Spore here, so it's to set up, but I don't really think this is the right time in the match to set up, so we are going to see him go for Substitute. Pearl's not going to let that happen though, going for Avalanche. Not going to let it happen. He's going to just try to preserve this wall, or he's not going to preserve the Wallerine. He's just going to sack it off here. Did his job, and Jake is going to let his Breloom get down really low, putting it in the range of a lot of things, like Nihilagos Power Gem even could do the damage from this point, which is kind of scary. So he goes out into his Landorus as a Coco check. Really good switch on his part, blocking that Volt Switch. Pearl's got to be expecting some sort of Earthquake here. I'm expecting he goes out into his physical check, which he does, and Jake just goes for his rocks. Gets the Toxic off on Alomomola as well. Pearl has been known to use Alomomola really well this season, and he is going to get that over into Gliscor to get that Poison Heal, but actually he wasn't Toxic Heal this week. He is a offensive Gliscor, which no one really expected from Pearl, but we got the Trick Room coming out from Jake, and he was really upset because he brought Hex on his Cofagrigus specifically for the Poison Heal Gliscor, because with the Toxic, Hex is going to do more, and it's not going to work out too well here because Gliscor is going to get up to +3. Look at the damage on Cofagrigus, not as bulky, as you would have hoped it to be, and he's going to be able to knock out this Cofagrigus. Luckily, Jake had one more turn of Trick Room, so he is going to be able to finish off this Gliscor. It was Yachi Berry, but not going to matter too much. So Gliscor is down, and we're down to 4-4. Now, looking at Jake's team, he doesn't have really too many ways to take down the Ferrothorn now, unless he's got some sort of Fire Punch on his Metagross, or if he's relying on Breloom too much in this match. And if he is, Breloom is not going to be able to take down Alomomola, which is his only real thing to take down the annoying water fish here. So Jake's actually going to make a hard switch out into his Cloyster, hoping not to get burned here and hoping to get free setup because Alomomola is easily able to set up. So he is going to go for the Shell Smash here, not bringing White Herb, I don't believe, and the Hidden Power out is going to come out and kill. I believe it was Hidden Power Electric or possibly Hidden Power Fighting, but I think it was Hidden Power Electric. Breloom's going to come out here and go for the Bullet Seed. He switches out into his Koko, which I think is a decent play, expecting Spore, I'm assuming, but like, he wouldn't go for Spore on a Toxic Alomomola, but he does go for the Substitute, and Koko is going to have to go down here. Actually, he predicted a switch, maybe? I'm not sure why Jake didn't go for Bullet Seed there, because I know he has Bullet Seed on the set, but goes for Drain Punch rather, and is basically getting Breloom out of being able to win this game. Breloom was really the win con at this point, and I feel like he started the misplay here. But anyways, Ferrothorn's going to come out. If he has any moves on Metagross to take this thing down, it would be great. But the Choice Band is now on the Ferrothorn, which limits it a lot, and Metagross does get the Rocky Helmet, which is good for that, but the Rocky Helmet's not really going to come into play unless he can like get a U-turn on Koko. But yeah, Rocky Helmet's not going to do too much, but now knowing this thing is Choice Banded, he can go out into his Lando, take any single hit, revealing that he was Yachi Berry and getting that knockoff, but unfortunately, Ferrothorn is not going to be able to stay in there. Jake doesn't have the Yachi Berry anymore, so can't take any Hidden Power Ice from the Nihilego. We're going to see how much this Alomomola can do. Goes for the Scald rather than the Wish, which could be a misplay. No burn on the Breloom, and I think Jake is just going to go for the Bullet Seed here. I think at this point in the match, Pearl didn't think he had the Bullet Seed, and so that is why Pearl stayed in there. So Jake does get the bluff off there, and now Koko's going to come in out of range of the Mach Punch, but Jake doesn't have it anyways, and he's going to go out into his Metagross, which we know now is the Rocky Helmet, hoping for a U-turn. That's exactly what he gets, and Koko is now being put into range of a lot of things. However, Jake doesn't really have anything to take advantage of that because he did lose his priority on his Cloyster, letting that go down too early, and also he doesn't actually have Bullet Punch, I don't think, on his Metagross. I'm not sure if he did or not. If you hear my dog in the background, I'm sorry for that. Breloom is going to go down, though, right here to the Ferrothorn, and is looking pretty much over because Ferrothorn should be able to wall out the rest of this team. So Jake is going to get a kill with Earthquake on the Nihilego, and then the Koko is going to come out, click the HP Ice, kill the Lando, and now it is Metagross against the world. I don't think Metagross even gets Thunder Punch, but Bullet Punch here would knock out the Koko. He does switch out into his Ferrothorn, which can easily wall this thing, and yeah, Jake is going to lose this game to Rocky Helmet. So Pearl is going to pick up the first game. We actually lose the first game. Team Eclipse is down 1, which means that one of us is going to have to face Pearl again in this playoffs. Pearl had a really good season. I believe he only lost like 2 games after taking over the team, maybe even 1, and that was to Mandy, which is nice because Mandy's on our team. But yeah, Pearl actually picked up the win here against Jake. Jake having a really strong season and actually losing in the playoffs. So that is 1-0 for Team. I feel like I called them the wrong team earlier. I called them Team Chaos. I'm really sorry to the team that's watching this. They're actually Team No Hax Needed. I can't believe I called them Team Chaos. That's a different team in the playoffs right now. But anyways, going on to the next game, Mandy versus Mike. If you guys don't know, Mike is one of my favorite players in the league. He has some really interesting sets sometimes, and he's a really good draft player all around. And of course, we have Mandy on our team, who had a struggling season, but is really smart when it comes to draft league, making me, have to prep really hard every time I've played her before. I think every match Mandy and I have had has gone down to the wire, so I know she is a really good coach, and she prepped really well for this match. We did a lot of mock battles and looked over the team a lot, and she's got some interesting stuff. Assault Vest Latias was something we really liked because we knew that it could take hits from Greninja and deal a ton of damage back. It also checks the Rotom beautifully, and there was a few things Mike didn't bring in this match that Mandy really struggled with. Mega Gardevoir would have really destroyed Mandy's team. Of course, Mandy does have some resist on her team like Scizor and the Chandelure, but simple Hidden Power Fire Shadow Ball makes those not really switch-ins at all. And Mandy doesn't have the best switch-ins to that. Luckily, Mike didn't bring it, but Mike still has a threatening team here with Nasty Plot on the Infernape. Could be really scary with a Mach Punch, or not a Mach Punch, a Vacuum Wave set with Flamethrower and stuff like that. We are also scared of Belly Drum Snorlax as well as Dragon Dancing Haxorus. If Haxorus gets up like +2 or even +1 because Mold Breaker does break through Marvel Scale, Haxorus can really destroy this team. Of course, not getting coverage for Scizor, which is nice, but I know it does get the move Incinerate, which could be kind of scary. Anyways, I think Mandy leads with her Raikou, who's got the best matchup against Mike's team and is really important to winning this game. She's going to go out into her Juliet, her Milotic, and get her Flame Orb off. Basically, Juliet's job is to check Infernape this entire game. It can take hits from the Haxorus as well, but its job is to take hits from the Infernape. Uxley's going to come out here basically getting free rocks. Mike is going to make the double and not actually get any predictions right. Rotom does get out for free, but Manny's going to get lucky and get the burn on the Rotom. Will-O-Wisp comes out predicting a switch, but Manny's actually just going to stay in and Mirror Coat, expecting the Volt switch. So good play, but nothing really coming out of that. So now she's going to switch out into Raikou, expecting a Will-O-Wisp again, and it's going to come out, but it's not going to affect Raikou too much because Raikou is a special attacker. It will be residual damage, and this is a Calm Mindset, so it's not great to have that residual damage, but it's not terrible. Still going to scout for damage here on the Snorlax. Does about 25%, which is nice, but this reveals to be a Snorlax with Curse. I don't believe Mandy had Dragon Tail on her Milotic, but she might. We'll see it here. No, she had Haze instead. So yeah, she goes for the Haze and is going to eat up hits from the Snorlax. It can 1v1 the Snorlax all day long and maybe even get a burn on it. But yeah, with Haze, the Snorlax shouldn't be able to do anything. If it was Belly Drum, it could have been a different story, but it's not, obviously, and Mandy doesn't have to worry about it anymore. She could get a nice Scald Burn on it as well, which could be really beneficial, but Mike's just going to keep going for these curses. Really just a stall match right here between the two of them. Nothing's really going to come out of it. I'm assuming Mike has some sort of berry that he's going to eat up here. I forget what exactly happened, but he does end up switching out here, so Mike decides to take initiative for himself and go out into his Uxie, probably trying to get up some rocks here. Actually, no, goes for the screens. Mike does really like his screens. He brought him on Rotom against us and Uxie in this game, so knocking off the Light Clay, which is important for late game because now Uxie is less important as a screen setter, only for 5 turns rather than 8. But Milotic is easily going to be able to switch in on this T-Wave because it is burnt already. But dual screens up for Mike. Probably looking for a sweep at with Haxorus at this point, but he can't do it just yet because the Milotic is not in range of an Outrage. So unfortunately, Mike has to not take advantage of his screens just yet because the Haze would still work for Juliet. But he does go out into Haxorus right now, predicting possibly a switch out, and Haxorus is going to be able to freely Dragon Dance up on this turn. However, Mike just goes for the safe play for damage with Dragon Claw, and screens are over. So he goes for the Dragon Dance on this play, and Mandy's going to go for U-turn, dealing a ton of damage, and going out into Milotic. Now you're going to see how quickly Milotic drops right here, 59%. Milotic does get the Haze off, but really can't deal too much damage back. Luckily goes down the burn, because if she didn't, Mike would have been able to go for the Dragon Dance on the next turn, because Milotic can't really do anything back to Haxorus. Mandy's best play there would have been to Haze rather than recover, and she would have lived, or she would have died from burn, and the same situation would have resulted. So I don't know really what would have happened there if she would have lived from burn, but I'm assuming nothing really would have changed. But she gets to bring out her Latios right here, go for the Dragon Pulse, and kill this Haxorus. Kind of hoping she can, like, bluff Scarf, and now Greninja's going to come out. So we weren't sure what type of Greninja he was going to bring. We figured maybe mixed or just like Specs could be really scary, but this is a Salvez Latios, can eat up any hit, and as long as she doesn't get flinched here, she can deal back a ton of damage with, I believe, Energy Ball. So Dark Pulse is only going to do 47%, and the Energy Ball is going to come out and kill the Greninja. Really the turning point of this match, because now Mike's only real offensive threat to Mandy's team is Infernape, which can't do really anything to, what's it called, the Chandelure, because I believe the Chandelure is Sugar Berry in this match, but maybe it's Choice Scarf, so I'm not sure on that one. But yeah, Lottie can just do damage to the rest of Mike's team. Unfortunately, Mike has missed now 2 Thunder Waves in this match, and Uxie is going to die trying to get the paralysis out on this Lottie. Knocking off the Assault Vest now, and Lottie's able to pick up its 3rd kill of the match. Now, this match really comes down to, can Infernape win the game? Rotom's gonna pick up the kill on Lottie, and yeah, it just really comes down to, can Infernape win, or can Snorlax set up enough? Mandy's gonna be able to knock off that Chesto Berry, so if Mike does go for a rest, he doesn't have the Chesto Berry now. Luckily getting the burn though on Scizor, and now Snorlax can possibly start setting up. but he does go for the curse right here. And Mandy's not looking too great, but if she can Calm Mind up alongside this thing, she can do well. Snowball is sitting at 16%. She does have the Z move on her Raikou, so she could pop it to kill this thing, but she's just going to go for the Thunderbolt instead because it does kill. I thought she was going to pop it at the 31%, but she didn't. She's saving it for the Infernape. If it's not Scarfed Infernape, then she can use it there. But rather, she actually decides to pop it here just to guarantee the kill on Rotom. And now it comes down to, can Infernape lock itself into any move to win this game? It can't lock itself into Flare Blitz because the Flash Fire on the Chandelure. It can't lock itself into Close Combat because of the Ghost typing on Chandelure. And it really just has to click Earthquake and hope for Diggersby not to be able to kill it. Maybe like no Earthquake on Diggersby. But no matter what, really, Mandy has sealed up this victory unless it's not some sort of Scarfed Infernape. It's not actually Scarfed. It turns out to be Special Infernape, and it's just not going to be able to deal enough damage to kill the Raikou anyways, and that's going to be the victory for Mandy. So there was a lot of ways that game could have gone differently, but Mandy played really well with the Raikou, knew it was her win condition, and preserved it to the end of the game. And also Lottie really came in clutch with the Assault Vest being able to 1v1 the Greninja, which Lottie's mainly can't do. So yeah, really good job by Mandy for this game, giving us hope in the playoffs. And now it really comes down to you know, me going up against Calixto next. We go 1-1 now against No Hax Needed. If I beat Calixto, we still have to beat Pearl at some point. But yeah, going in against Calixto, we played him earlier this season, I believe week 6, and it was an interesting match. I think I brought some really crazy sets, but one of them being Fire MZ Mence. Mence was a really cool set this against him. It really checked the chestnut because he didn't bring coverage for my Mence. Sorry, I'm not really in the face cam too much. But yeah, it really helped out, the Mence did. It was roost, it was defensive, it was nice in the match, but I decided to bring a really similar set. It is Fire MZ again, which is funny. It's not, I didn't really know if I wanted to bring Fire MZ. I was thinking maybe Leftovers, maybe Flying MZ, but I decided to go with the Fire MZ Fire Blast again. And yeah, it was like, okay, this should be an interesting match. I have a lot of things, but really, by what I saw, what he brought, Gyarados just needs to set up in this match and win the game. The problem is Unaware Clef. If he does bring Unaware Clef, I need Clef at 50% to beat him. If he's Magic Guard Clef, then I only need +2 to win this game, really. I am really bulky, so I do have screens on Rotom as well. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm putting it on fast because I misplayed a lot in this game, and it took a long time for this battle to end. So I'm going to put it on fast right here. We lead with the Rotom Heat, and I think I'm just going to stay in and click the Volt Switch, not really expecting him to do much. Actually, I go for Will-O-Wisp because I knew I could take any hit from that Staraptor, and burning it would have been really nice in this match. But we get the burn off on the Latias instead, which I know it's going to be special Latias, maybe even Scarf, but probably a Calm Mind variant, and that's exactly what he reveals here, is Calm Mind. I was actually more scared of Calm Mind Clefable, but Calm Mind Lottie is still scary. I know I can take hits with my Steelix, but not very well because I am mainly physically bulky. So you guys are going to see how much an Energy Ball actually does right here. It does about 50%, and we're going to be able to roar him out. And now he goes out into his Aggron, and I believe he gets up Brox here. The smart play right there is to get a Brox, and I'm putting everything into range of Gyarados right now. Getting 50% off on the Aggron is really nice. I get rid of these rocks here so that Gyarados can come in for free. And it's really just about playing a long game, or playing like for the long term of the game to set up with Gyarados. So Crook needs a little bit of damage on it. It's good to go, unless it has like leftovers, but it doesn't. I get my Fire MZ Mence in. Go for Wish. I forgot about that. I am Wish on Mence, and I can heal up my Finny right here. So he does go out into his Pyroar. I actually don't need any damage off on Pyroar. Basically everything's in the range except a little bit more damage on Lottie, and I need to get a Nature's Madness on Clefable, and then I can win this game at +2. Even +1 if he's not Scarf Lottie. So, yeah, we're going to go out into Finny here. Click the Nature's Madness, hoping to get Clef on the play, but we don't. We get Staraptor, but, you know, it's still damage on it. And if I click Nature's Madness here, I would have gone right out in the Rotom and started setting up screens and trying to win this game. But we do see that he has Wish on Clef. And that's really where the Soul match comes, because at this point, everything was in range for Gyarados to sweep. And if I would have went for Nature's Madness rather than Moonblast on that previous play, I could have gone Rotom, set up screens, and really had a really good chance to win this game at this point. in the match. But he does reveal Wish on Clef, and I put everything in range in the first 15 turns, but Clef is going to go up the Fool. So I am going to set up my screens right here. I know he's probably going to go for Calm Mind, and I'm looking at the calcs, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I could win this game with Gyarados right now. Energy Ball is only going to do about 30% behind Light Screen at +1. If he's +2, it's only going to do about 37%. So I'm like, I could try to win this game right here. And I was really debating going into Gyarados here. I'm like, I can win this game right now if I go into Gyarados. I know he's not Scarfalati. I only need +1, and unfortunately, and I can live a hit from Clefable because I have my light screen up. So I'm like, I can live a Moonblast. This should be good to go. The Aggron sitting at 50%. Everything's good, and I should have done it, to be honest. This is the turn I should have gone into it, and this game would have ended in 25 turns. But rather, I'm going to actually go out into Steelix, being afraid that it's too early to pull the trigger. So the remaining turns of this match, it's going to take a while. We get our Aguav Berry off there, get the wrong roar, and we get the stupid Pyroar, which is unfortunate. But we do predict the Z move correctly and go out into our Rotom, so we don't take really anything from that. Rotom campaign split up later in this game if I have to, but yeah, Steelix is a pretty solid check as long as I still have light screen up, because I can take hits a little bit better. So yeah, we're gonna get the Heavy Slam off. Doesn't do too much damage to Lottie. I don't really need this damage. I'm just hoping at some point I can get that damage back on Clef, or get light screen back up to try to set up on this Lottie. Excuse me, but really this match is going to take a while. It's a pretty stally match, and it just involves a lot of going back and forth trying to whittle down his team, and unfortunately Clef just completely obliterates that, because every time I get things into the right spot, Clef is able to set off wishes. This could have been another play where I tried to set up with Gyarados. I think at this point I know he is Magic Guard Clef. I don't think he took damage from the rocks. I'd have to check on that again, because I forget. But yeah, he goes the Wish up his Aggron. Not going to work because we do have that Nature's Madness, and I can get a free switch out into Ments. So yeah, we can see that he's Magic Guard Clef. So at this point in the game, I really don't have a reason not to set up with Gyarados. And I think I just played so blindly in this match because I was like, the only way I can win this match is if I set up with Gyarados, and I don't want to pull the trigger too quickly. And I just kept waiting to pull the trigger because it should have already been over. Like, this game should have been over by now. And I actually, really start to misplay here, because he's able to whittle down my team, and Ments obviously isn't the best Wish Passer, and so he's whittling down my team more than I can whittle down his, and Clef can Wish all day up on my team because I don't offensively pressure it that well. And I'm sitting here right now in this stall match versus Clef, and I'm like, I could have won this turn, or I could have won this game, 30 turns ago. I could have won this game turn 1, to be honest. If I led Rotom and I clicked dual screens and then I Volt Switch out, turn 4, set up with Gyarados, this game would have been over in 12 turns. And I'm not even lying. I don't think he had the best prep for this game, but I'm going to pause this game real quick and go do something real quick. Alright, I am back. We go for the Iron Head on the incoming Aggron, getting its Wish back up, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this game is taking too long. It's too long. And I'm like, he's going to end up winning this game. I get the rocks out because I know I need to keep Gyarados full. Or at least just slightly healthy in this game. And I'm just getting so frustrated right now because I can't do anything. I'm trying to play the right game, and even rewatching this, I'm making so many misplays right now. And it's, looking back on games, like, that's what happens, but I just got in the mindset that I needed to whittle things down. And I should have just looked at calcs and been like, no, I don't. I can live 2 hits from Clef under screens, and I can just win this game. And you guys are going to see that's going to happen pretty soon, that I'm going to decide, you know what, let's just go for game. But it's not going to happen just yet, because you guys are going to see my team really start to struggle. I was not playing well at this point. My first Mon's going to go down with Steelix coming up soon. I'm not sure if it's this turn or the next turn, but yeah, Steelix is going to unfortunately go down right here, and the first Mon drops at 58 turns, and I'm like, oh my gosh, now I have to stack off Finny as well to get rid of rocks, and I'm like, this is not going well. Like, I'm like, did I lose this game because I wasn't really well prepared? But I see the opportunity right here, turn 61, to get up my screens. I went for Reflect, got my light screen up. He is going to get the +2 on me, and I'm like, looking at the calcs, I'm like, I'm so frustrated right now. Let's do it right here. The best he can do to me is 37% with energy ball. That's the best. I believe the roll was like 34 to 38, so 38%, which means I can live 2. I can get up to +2, and I can sweep through this team. Unfortunately, I maybe won't be able to kill Clef. I haven't really done too much damage to Clef to know the set, but it's Spadef, so if I can get... Waterfall on its Spadef variant is like 95 to 110, or not even, I think it's like 92 to 108. So it's like a 50-50 roll to kill. So if I could get the roll, then I can win the game right here. But he is going to actually misplay and go out into his Clef, giving me a free Dragon Dance on him. Clef cannot even do any damage, not even 4-shot, or 3-shot me. I believe Moonblast only does like 30% here, so I'm going to get the +2. Moonblast does, yeah, 23%, so not even 4-shot, and that's going to be the game. Gyarados is a beast. Get up to +3. I know I can OHKO every single thing on his team, and we're going to proceed to sweep through Calypso's team here. Absolutely crazy match. He does have dual intimidators, but it's not going to matter too much. I was taking that into consideration when I stopped at +3. But yeah, this game was absolutely crazy. His Aggron actually did have a chance to live Earthquake, I believe. I'm not sure on what his set was, but really crazy game, and we are going to pull out the victory after 71 turns. A hard-fought battle. I played really poorly. I'll admit this was probably my worst game of the season because I had my win con right away, and it could have been like this game could have been over turn 15. So I really did misplay in this match a lot, but luckily Gyarados is just such a beast behind screens that it didn't matter. I was super bulky, like 196 HP. There was no way I should have taken 71 turns to win that match, but we are going to win it. We're going to the next round. I don't have to play Pearl just yet, or at all maybe. Mandy has to face him, and if Mandy can win, then we move on to the next round. So yeah, we're going to move on to the next round. Mandy versus Pearl right here. Here it is. We helped Mandy build this team a lot, Jake and I. We did some prep with her. We did a couple mock battles, and Mandy felt really prepared for this match. Some really nice sets, obviously. Scizor being really important to be able to bullet punch that Nihilego. Assault Vest Lottie is back as well to really deal damage to this team, and Cradilly being the main Coco check. She's really hoping to win this game, I believe, with the Scarf Chandelier. Not really too many win cons in the back, maybe. Yeah, I think Chandelier is really the only great win con in this game. But anyways, we're going to click the play button right here. Cradilly is the lead, and unfortunately, she's going to have to make a rough switch right off the bat and take, 29% on her Scizor, which isn't terrible, but it does give the M-Board the free switch in, and right away, Mandy is really just on the back foot. Wild Charge, great prediction by Pearl there. And my low deck is already sitting really low. Gets the recover off, I believe, right here. But it's not going to matter because Coco is now in, and Pearl's just playing really well with momentum right now. We can see that his sub is going to just absolutely destroy things. And I told Mandy right before, or not right before, but in the middle of her prepping, I'm like, Sub Calm Mind is really good against you. And Pearl had brought this against me in a different league in the SML. And I'm like, Mandy, we need to watch out for Sub Calm Mind. We were prepared. Earth Power is not going to break that sub, but Earthquake is, and that was a really good prep on Mandy's part to bring Earthquake over Earth Power because we were afraid of Sub Calm Mind. Of course, AV Cradilly is not going to care one bit about this, and he is going to be forced to switch out into Ferrothorn. So Mandy, really good prep right there on her part, being able to stop the Sub Calm Mind Coco. Also breaking the Akaberry, which is really important, but losing her Assault Vest in the process. So Alomomola is going to come out right here. Mandy's going to click the Hidden Power Fire again, and yeah, she's going to switch out. I'm not sure what her grass type coverage was, but you can see he's probably going to go into Coco here to get the Wish up, and that's what he does. Mandy does get the Toxic off, which is good, but Coco is sitting back at a good range, and she no longer has the AV on her Cradilly. So Cradilly can come in, but it's not going to be great. I think she should have sacked it off here because she is giving Coco like free momentum switches, and Pearl's playing really well around that. Mandy being able to give him free switches all the time, and Cradilly's not going to be able to take hits that much longer. I think a Dazzling Gleam actually could kill him right here, but he is going to go out into Beedrill, taking 41%, which actually does put it into Scizor's range. So maybe not the best play as far as Pearl goes, but Mandy's just making a lot of hard switches, and it's unclear U-turn, killing off or Second off, her Cradily was really the best bet, but she's not making the greatest plays so far in this match. You can see Alola Mola right here taking hits easily, and it's just really just coming down to a lot of momentum switches. But Mandy does have her Assault Vest Latios. I think it's Assault Vest, actually. Maybe it's not. Maybe she brought a different set that I was unaware of. But I think, yeah, that is Assault Vest Lottie, and it is going to be able to kill the Coco. So AV Lottie coming 2 weeks in a row, and it works out both times. But Scarfed Emboar gets to come in, revenge kill the Lottie, and yeah, Mandy does have great switch-ins to this Emboar. Goes out in the Cradily and gets the Earthquake off. So now Beedrill cannot get in if rocks get up, but Mandy doesn't have rocks on her team, unfortunately, and brings in the win condition a little too early. Can't really do too much to everything on the team, so it is going to have to switch out into the Scizor. Scizor's not going to take this, and the crit does matter there. If Pearl doesn't crit there, you know, the game does play out differently, but Alola Mola pretty much checks Scizor and every time, as well as the Ferrothorn. So Scizor was important because it allowed her to really play late game against the Beedrill, but now that Scizor's gone, Beedrill just has free reign to click Poison Jab over this team, and you know, Nihilego now getting up to +2, that's basically game. She doesn't really have any way to win it, and yeah, she's gonna go for the Aurora Veil instead of the attacking move, but it wouldn't matter too much, even though Shandy, I think, no, he was Scarf, but yeah, it didn't matter too much in the long run, and Pearl is gonna pick up the 5-0 victory, I believe. So that is the game. Nihilego just showing how much of a monster it really is, and it's gonna be tough. Me versus Pearl in this next week. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I put a ton of prep into this match, thinking back and forth, and she was faster, by the way. So if she did go for the Psyshock with her Ninetales, would have actually resulted in a 4-0, maybe even closer, but I don't know. Anyways, yeah, had to prep for Pearl. Hardest prep of my entire Pokemon career. I kept rethinking everything. At some point, every single match, or every single Mon on my team, or even combination of Mons was in the team at some point. I knew I needed to bring, you know, Bullet Punch on my Hariyama, you know, for the Nihilego. I needed to bring Hariyama for the Nihilego, but I just didn't really have that spot for it. If I wanted to bring Gyarados, or if I wanted to bring Scarfirachi, and you know, I went back and forth. You guys will see the team that I brought right here. And yeah, I think it's a team that I can be happy with, but not necessarily, you know, really satisfied with. I brought a Specs Gengar, and looking at the matchup, he has no switches to Shadow Ball, not a single one on his team. And I'm like, okay, I can bring Scarfed, and Scarf Shadow Ball, you know, it's great. It does a lot of damage to his team, and Scarf obviously making me outspeed Nihilego and stuff like that. But I'm like, I really don't like Scarf Gengar. It doesn't do the damage I really need it to. So I went with Specs Gengar. I figured if he does have his Nihilego, he might not be Scarfed in this matchup. I feel like Nihilego is likely to be Scarfed because it does outspeed Rachi, but you know, I didn't really want to overpredict, and I wanted to have Specs just, you know, if I can get a big Specs off on something, like let's say I bring out Gengar bluffing the Scarf on Coco, and I just go for Shadow Ball on the incoming Ferrothorn, like that's a huge 50% right there, and actually, you know, I can kill it, or I can, you know, get a huge 50% on something else. So it's really nice. It has its situational matchups, and I think I brought a defensive, especially defensive, Steelix for the Coco this week, being able to check every single thing it does. It does have the Rocky Helmet as well for U-turn. A Spikes lead Roserade, which I never lead. It's a Spikes lead Roserade. I'm supposed to lead it, but I never do. Scarf Rachi, I believe this is a defensive Rotom, really just being able to check Gliscor really well as Emboar, and Bullet Punch, Flame Orb, Hariyama in this game. So, whew, this is going to be a longer game. I don't think it's as long as Calixto, but it is a pretty good game. Jake really helped me out in this match. Our teammate Jake helping me mock. Actually brought the same exact 6 Mons in the game as well. But we'll hit the play button here. I believe I lead off with my Steelix. Probably the best lead, especially when I expect the Coco as the lead. So in both of my mocks, I clicked Stealth Rocks on turn 1 on the Coco lead. Coco lead led both, and I clicked Stealth Rocks. But I just had this feeling. It was I don't know what it was. It was a gut feeling. I'm like, this Coco has something up its sleeves. I don't know what it is, but I don't trust this thing. I don't know why it was like, because I'm facing Jake, I just predict it's Jake and he's going to go for U-turn. But right here, I'm like, you know what? Pearl's smarter to know that Steelix is going to be, you know, my Coco check. And I'm looking at the calcs. Grass Knot from Specs variant is going to do 80%. And if I go for Rocks, and I lose Steelix right off the bat. And I'm like, actually, no, Grass Knot only does 50% because I remember looking at the calcs. Had a chance to choose shot. But if he was Specs, it was a 2-shot. So I'm like, if he goes for Grass Knot, I get the Rocky Helmet damage. I go for Earthquake. He's dead. And I kill the Coco turn 1. I'm like, I need to go for Earthquake here. There's no and, ifs, or buts about it. I need to do it. He reveals one of the greatest techs I've ever seen, Guardian of Alola, and basically neutralizing my Steelix. And not only that, but if I was the Berry Steelix, which I'm not, I'm Rocky Helmet, but if I was the Aglav Berry, which I brought to my last 2 matches, he only did 74%, which is 1% away from activating that 50% berry. So great prep on Pearl's part. We do get the Earthquake off, which is great because he does go for the Grass Knot next turn, and our Rocky Helmet is barely enough to kill that Coco. So turn 2, Mons are already down after 58 turns on the last game to get them on down. Coco is done for. And that really opens up the field because now Scarf Rachi is faster than everything, barring a Scarf Nihilego, which is really nice. And, you know, looking at this matchup, Hariyama can freely click, you know, I guess close combat, but I guess close score is also a pretty good switch into that. I can freely click, you know, Shadow Ball with Gengar and not really worry about being slower than everything. Also, you know, barring a Scarf Nihilego. But really this game opens up a lot for me. So he goes out into Alomomola here. I go out into Rotom. Let's go for the Protect Scouting for what I want to do. I want to Volt Switch. I don't care if he goes into Gliscor. I'm going to... actually, really? I can't believe I made that play. I should have just went for Volt Switch. But luckily, we go for Hidden Power Ice, and he reveals the Mirror Coat. So we did get lucky there. I did forget about that play, but I was like, you know what? I think he wants to get his, what's it called? Toxic Orb off. So that's why I did that. So yeah, looking back, it's not a bad play, especially when he sees the when we see the Mirror Coat, because we would have lost something right off the bat there. He goes for Mirror Coat again. We play around that. We get a Roserade in, and we basically get a free Giga Drain. I wanted to predict the Ferrothorn here, but I just got in a misprediction, so I didn't really want to do that too much. So I just went for my Spikes instead because it's the best middle ground play. Spikes really hurts that Ferrothorn, making it that it can't really switch in too much, and also putting everything into range. I need like 25%, maybe even more on the Nihilego to kill with Bullet Punch. So I do go out in the Jirachi. I know I can take any hit from this thing. It doesn't get a single move to do anything. It does get Foul Play, but of course that is a move tutor move, so it can't use it in this league just yet because at the start of the season we Ultra Sun and Moon was not out yet. So we get Jirachi. We get a free U-turn off. I didn't like this situation of running physical Rachi because of Rough Skin Rocky Helmet, or not Rough Skin, Iron Barbs Rocky Helmet. So I was going back and forth on if I wanted special or physical. I wanted physical Rachi. I probably should have just gone with special Rachi and had Psyshock. But yeah, we are going to just hard switch because I knew Ferrothorn was likely and I don't want to take that damage. Because if he is Scarf Nihilego, which a little, you know, something tells me he is, I think it's more just because it makes sense in the prep. To outspeed like Gengar and stuff like that, or any Scarfers that I might have, it's especially Jirachi, it makes sense to have it. So I didn't really want to take that Iron Barbs Rocky Helmet from the Ferrothorn. So I get the prediction right out into Rotom on the Ferrothorn, and I believe I just clicked the Overheat. Yeah, I was too scared of Ferrothorn to let it do anything against my team, so I do click the Overheat, and I am going to stay in here, seeing what this Ember wants to do to me, because it does have a lot of, you know, threatening potential against my team. However, he only gets the +1, and I can go out to Jirachi here, threaten this thing out with the Zen Headbutt. He does go out into Alomomola here, so luckily not the Ferrothorn, but you know, Alomomola is still scary. So he goes for a Wish right here, and I had a mental lapse on this turn. I'm thinking he wants to, you know, go heal something up or click Protect here, and I'll just go for Shadow Ball and get damage off. And boy was I wrong, because I'm going to go for Psychic here, predicting the Nihilego, and look at this, he Mirror Coats, of course, and is going to kill us. So he gets his Wish back up, and I just really misplayed there, and I do get a free Giga Drain off here, but it's just really bad play. Actually, I went for Spikes again. I guess that's a decent play, but really bad play on my part. I go for the Hidden Power Fire, I think. Yeah, Hidden Power Fire for the Ferrothorn here. I'm trying to make predictions. Does do a decent amount, and you guys are going to see he gets poisoned by the Toxic Orb, right? I go out into Rotom. He goes out into Nihilego. It's all good. He does have the Toxic Orb now, which didn't really want him to be able to get up. And also, this is great. Alomomola doesn't get free switch-ins anymore. It's not going to be at 100% every time. So I'm going to U-turn out on this thing as he goes for the Wish, and being able to really heal up his team. So we're looking in not a great situation. Our win con is immediately Jirachi right now in this game, trying to get things down into range of it. Ferrothorn being really annoying because it's making that Jirachi can't really win this game just yet. But yeah, he's going to go out into Emvor. Slowly but surely, we're whittling this thing down. I make the misplay of going for the Hidden Power Fire. Probably should have just went for the Sludge Bomb there to try to kill Emvor. He does get the Wish up. I just thought that he would want to Wish up his Ferrothorn instead, because Ferrothorn is a bigger threat to my team, I thought. But yeah, with that Flame Charge, it makes this thing really scary. He goes for Flare Blitz on this play, trying to kill my Roserade. Gets a crit on my Rotom, which isn't great. And I am just going to Volt Switch in case he does go for the Flame Charge. Actually, maybe I go for Pain Split. I do go for Pain Split here. I thought it was a pretty good play. He actually does have Head Smash on this Emvor, so I don't know why he was going for Flare Blitz here. But I do get the Volt Switch off, and now I can go out into Jirachi and finish off this Emvor. Really scary against me, but luckily we stopped it from really being a threat. Ferrothorn comes out. I know I don't want to go for any single thing that might hurt me. Predicting the Leech Seed, actually get it right, go out into Roserade. But then I get the next prediction wrong and go for Gauge Drain and allow him to get up a Spike against me, which is sad because I don't have any hazard removal on my team. And then I go for the Hidden Power Fire, and he gets the free Nihilego switch in. So I'm going to go and sack off my Rotom here, but luckily we're going to live. And yeah, I did not expect to live that hit, one bit. I know we're going to die to the next one, so I'm just going to go out into my Jirachi. I know I can take the Side Shock, and I was going to sack off my Rotom, but I'm like, you know what, if I can get a Pain Split up on the Alomomola, I can get back up the Fool. I do make the misplay here. I don't know why I went for Iron Head. I should have just hard switched out predicting Ferrothorn, but I'm really putting my Jirachi down into range that Nihilego can actually beat me. But look at that, 18% on the knockoff. I was sacking it off, and I live. And I'm like, okay, I'll click Pain Split here. Overheat's probably my best play to kill this thing. But I'm going to click Pain Split instead. And on the off chance he goes Alomomola here. And he does. And our Rotom's health is going whoop all the way up to 74%. He's alive. Oh my goodness. I can click Volt Switch here. I know I can kill it with the Volt Switch. He is Wakan Berry, unfortunately, so I'm expecting the Mirror Coat to come out here. I'm just going to go out in the Roserade. It's not very important. He gets the Mirror Coat out, does a ton of damage, but Giga Drain can put us back up out of range of Power Gem, which is, important. But obviously, Nihilego does get other coverage moves for us, so it does come out, and I'm like, okay, he probably clicks the Side Shock here. I'm just going to sack this off. Rotom is actually important because I don't really have ways to kill Ferrothorn, and now I can threaten this thing out. I know Bullet Punch is going to kill, and I thought about this play so much, guys. I'm not going to lie. I do not live a Side Shock. I was not very bulk invested. Well, maybe I did live a Side Shock. I'm not sure. I don't have the calc up. So I really, really wanted to hard switch out into my Rotom here. I really did. It was either Rotom or Jirachi. I'm like, I think the Ferrothorn's coming in. And if I click Bullet Punch, then I'm putting myself into range of Side Shock, of a neutral Side Shock. And I'm like, that's not great because, eventually I can die with my Hariyama. And I don't want to take all this Rocky Helmet damage. And I'm like, I can click Close Combat here. If I live, I kill this thing, and Rotom plus Jirachi should be able to win this game. I'm like, I can do that. I can click Close Combat here. I can risk this play. And I really wanted to do it, but I'm just going to go for the Bullet Punch. I'm playing safe, and I go for the Bullet Punch, and of course the Ferrothorn comes in, and you guys are going to see he is Iron Barb, Rocky Helmet, and I'm going to have to go for the Close Combat. And this is really unfortunate, because I go for the Close Combat, and I am down to very, very low percentage, which means I get one more switch in. Just one, which is really unfortunate. He's going to go out into his Gliscor. I'm going to go for the Ice Punch, hoping to do some damage. And he roosts, which is unfortunate, but, a good play on his part. I'm like, I can't stay in. I really can't. I need another switch in. So I go out into Rotom, and he makes a God tier play. He goes for actually, no, he goes for Roost. But on this play, he makes a God tier play. He goes for the rocks on my HPI's lives. And if you guys didn't know, if you didn't see that, he was actually not Poison Heal. He forgot to put Poison Heal on his Gliscor, so I feel really bad because it was misprep on his part, and Gliscor could have done more in this match, but he forgot to put the Poison Heal, and, you know, really unfortunate, but Rotom is going to be able to kill this thing, and now it comes down to, is he Scarf Nihilego? And I'm really scared. He got the Rocks up. I'll show you guys the calcs. Okay. Well, I can't show you the calcs, but okay, look. Rachi is sitting at 46%. If he goes for Power Gem here, which he probably will, because it kills everything, or it kills the Rotom. Nothing else he can click can kill the Rotom. So if he goes for Power Gem here, he kills my Rotom, and then the roll on Jirachi after Spikes and Stealth Rocks is in my favor, okay? I believe the roll, let me see, Spikes does 12%, so 28. So I think the roll was 24 to 29. And I'm like, I can't risk that. Like, I could lose this game to a high roll. So I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I'm like, what do I do? I can't switch to my Hariyama anymore because it dies to Hazards, because he got the Rocks up, really good play on his part, and then it just came to me. I'm like, no, wait. I don't have to sack off a Mon here. I don't have to give it a Beast Boost, and I'm gonna make probably the best play I've ever made in Pokemon. And I'm gonna switch out into my Hariyama. I'm gonna sack it off to the Hazards. He's gonna go for the Power Gem. Whew! And he's not gonna get the Beast Boost. He's not gonna get it, boys. He is not gonna get it. And Jirachi, I don't care that this Nihilego Scarf. We're at 28%. Unless he crits, which he doesn't, we win this game. We get the Iron Head off. We kill the Nihilego. And we're gonna win this game 2-0. Closest match I've ever played. Maybe not closest, but best game. Really, Pearl and I had a great game here. Pearl, one of the best battlers, probably the best in our little community we have. We have Nikora, who's amazing. We have Pearl. You know, Jake is really good. Trying to think of some other our best battlers. Ninetales is really good. I hope I don't leave anyone out here that I think is like god tier. Sir Hawthorne, Rockhands is really good. I mean, everyone in the league is skilled. It's just we have some of these like elite battlers, and Pearl is definitely one of them. You guys saw 3 of his matches, and every single one he played really well. Plays really well with his team, of course, with Volturn and Nihilego being able to clean up a lot of teams, and we just were able to, you know, outplay him at the end there. I think prep really was important. You know, Scarf Rachi wasn't necessarily the best prep, and Choice Specs Gengar definitely wasn't the best prep, but in the game, I think we outplayed him. We made a lot of good predictions, a lot of bad predictions, but yeah, I mean, it was one of the closest matches I've ever played, and we're moving on to the finals. Only 4 teams made it, and we will be taking on Team, what's their team name called? The Rough Riders. The Rough Riders did finish as the 2nd seed. Coach Rocky, Coach GV Center, and Coach Sir Hawthorne. They all know each other in real life. They all had great seasons. Hawthorne beat us earlier this season. I beat GV Center. I beat Rockhands. But I am going to have to face Rockhands again for the playoffs. Mandy has to face GV Center, and Jake is going to have to face Sir Hawthorne. So, yeah, we're going to be moving on to the finals. With this league, like this community of players, I have played 4 full seasons. Well, 4 seasons of, like, one was a replacement season. But I have won 3 championships. I won UPL Season 1, I won PSBL Season 2, and I won SML Season 1. I didn't win PSBL Season 1 because I played poorly in all of my matches. And yeah, this is the next championship. So I'm really looking to get my 4th championship with these people and be back-to-back champion of the UPL, because that's just amazing. We have finished our draft for UPL Season 3 at the time I'm recording this. I haven't actually finished the finals, so I don't actually know who's going to win. But the draft analysis for Season 3 will be coming out soon. And other than that, I don't really have anything to say. I know this was a really long video, so if you guys were able to bear through it all, you know, thank you so much for watching, and wish Team Eclipse luck in the finals. So anyways, guys, I'll talk to you all later. Have a nice day, guys. Peace!